Hey, 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 Happy New Year, Happy New You. It is officially 2025 here on the East Coast. Okay, I went live earlier, but I got interrupted. Okay. Yeah, but it was an important call. I had to take it. Somebody that I love. So it's all good. But look, I was in there. I was getting in there, okay? Like I was deep into conversation. For those of you who were on earlier, you know what I'm talking about. Hello, for those of you just joining me. Listen, you guys, it is officially 2025, at least here on the East Coast it is, okay? It's 12:36 on the East Coast, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited about 2025. I have been planning for 2025 since about November 1st of 2024. So I have been putting things in motion so that when 2025 got here, I would already be in 2025 mode and not trying to catch up, right? All right, Texas, it's 11:36. Okay, that's right. Y'all are on Central Time. Okay, well, look, get your champagne ready. You only got a little more time. I've been sipping since about 10 minutes before midnight. I got my champagne ready. I had it on ice, okay? Cheers to that. At work. Who else had to work today? I had to work today. I had to work today. I was in the skies, you guys. I had 3 flights today. Yeah, that's a lot. For those of you who don't know, 3 flights is a lot. Even if they're short flights, that's a lot. Drinking water, that's good. Water is life. Make sure you drink plenty of water. I flush out my system every night. Please believe. I'll be also detoxing tonight after I finish my champagne, but that's a whole nother story. Anywho, all right, you guys. So, as I was discussing on the other live, let me just kind of recap what I was saying. So, I came on just to talk about, yep, absolutely, Candy Cleanse, baby. I will be drinking my Candy Cleanse tonight. I keep it on deck. I drink my Candy Cleanse about 6 nights a week. I might take, I'll take like one night off, but I absolutely believe in flushing out my system, getting rid of the toxins. So tonight, when I came on, I was just talking about, what is your word for 2025? So every year I have a word that is sort of like my theme for the year. Last year, my word was abundance. And, I wanted abundance as far as like more money, better health, even though, I have good health. I stay in pretty good shape, and I always have been, but I wanted even better health. Like I wanted, I wanted optimum health. Okay. I wanted better relationships. I wanted better friendships. I wanted better connection with my family. I wanted more direction as far as like my career, my business, that sort of thing. And I definitely can say that, I made a lot of progress and I achieved a lot of things that I wanted to achieve, but there's always more, right? Like I'm never going to be satisfied with just, getting what I want. I want more for my family as well. It's not just enough that I get it. Like I want my family to have it. I want my friends to have it. I want as a people, I want us to prosper and live right. And that was another thing I was saying. I was like, there's no reason why we should not all live an abundant life, why we should not, be living in prosperity, because that is biblical. That is what God wants, right? That is what God intends for us to have. Like, we are not supposed to live in lack. We are not supposed to live in doubt, in fear, in procrastination, and inconsistency. That is not of God, okay? That's not of God. Like, if we are made in the image and likeness of God, then we should be living in abundance. We should be living in the land of milk and honey. We should be living in prosperity, happiness, clarity, vision. Oh, yes, that's what I was talking about. So my word for 2025, is vision. And I was explaining why my word is vision. My word is vision because I was saying that without vision, people perish. We have to write the vision and make it plain, right? So it's important that we have a vision and that we see our vision every day. And we have to see it here. We have to see it here. We have to see it in our eyesight, okay? So it's got to be in front of your face. Like, you have to be able to actually see it in your vision, like in your eye vision every day, okay? And we have to also speak it, because that is the only way it's going to come to fruition, okay? It's no wonder that the Bible says without vision, the people perish. You have to have vision. Think about all the people who have been successful. When they talk about the story of Walt Disney, like, he had a vision for what that theme park was going to look like. Otherwise, it wouldn't have come to fruition. Okay? Every successful person that I can think of, they had a vision for what they wanted their life to look like, what they wanted to provide, what they wanted to be able to give to the world. And okay, I see. Look, IG is not getting ready to play with me. You can keep going on and off IG. They interrupted me the last time I was talking, but baby, as soon as you start talking good, as soon as you start talking about God, as soon as you start talking about faith and vision, oh, IG want to play around, baby, don't play with me. Okay? Don't play with me. Back at 2 and 2 are you saying Habakkuk 2:2? And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tablets. I think that's what you're saying. You must be speaking what you're saying. Don't you just, I can't stand it when I'm trying to speak what I'm saying, and then that spell check automatically starts, turning my words into what they think I'm saying. I'm like, I didn't say that. Yes. Is it Habakkuk? I can't remember, but yeah. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes. That book in the Bible. Old Testament, baby. Old Testament. So make sure that you guys, I do a vision board every year around the first of the year. And I did one last year. I did an event for some young girls because I wanted to give, our children a chance to actually do a vision board. You can't hear me? Okay. Is anybody else on? Can you tell me? Can you hear me now? Let me see. Can you hear me? Put a yes if you can hear me, no if you can't hear me, because I'm talking right now. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you, hold on, hear me now? Let me put this in there. Can you hear me now? I'm talking. Let's see. Let me know if you can hear me or not. For anyone that's on, say yes or no, please. And if I have to, I'll just go out and come back in. But let me know if you can hear me. Let me see who is on. Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay. I'm going to keep talking. I hope that, since my last name is Hope, I'm always with Hope. Okay. I hope that you guys can hear me. But yeah, last year I did an event, and I had some young girls come and they did their own vision boards, and it was just really beautiful to see how, there are no limitations when you're a kid. There are no limitations at all as to, how you're dreaming, how you're thinking. So no sound. Okay, well, I'm going to hope that there is sound, and maybe it's just on your end. But we shall see. I'm going to keep talking because, I feel like the Spirit is leading me to talk, and I feel like my message is being heard by someone, even if it's just me. Okay. All right. So, I did this vision board party. It was, like a clinic for young girls, and, and they really enjoyed themselves. And I really enjoyed myself, just watching them, have have no filter, and, and no cap on what they were thinking or, envisioning for their lives. And it was just really cute to watch, them dream big. And it made me think back to when I was a little girl and how I always dreamt very big for my life. And it wasn't until I started growing up and, in school and being around, teachers and other adults and other kids who started putting limitations and questioning your dreams and telling you things like, oh, well, I see this for you, or, and sometimes people try to limit us, because, they feel like they need to put us in our place. Sometimes people limit us unintentionally because, they don't see bigger things for themselves. And so they don't see it for themselves. They don't see it for you either. So it's like, oh, well, let's just be realistic. This is what we can do. And then there are some who, limit you and try to keep you from growing because they don't want you to grow outside and past them, right? So, we have to be very careful about who we allow to speak into us. And by speaking into us, I mean, be careful about who you ask for advice. Be careful about who you share your dreams with, your vision with. Your vision is not meant to be shared with everybody, okay? It needs to be first and foremost shared with God, right? Because he's really the one who gives us the vision and the dreams. It needs to be shared with him, and let him help you discern who you need to share that vision with, how you need to share it, because it's not something that you can tell everybody about. It's really not. It's you need to treat it as a sacred practice that you have to protect, like it's your child. Okay. Like you're carrying a baby, and you don't necessarily want everyone to know in the beginning that, that that you're going to birth this thing. It's like, you want to keep it safe and, just to yourself until you start seeing it grow. And then maybe, once you start showing, then it's like, oh, okay, now I can tell people. Yeah. Like once you start seeing, the proof of it, once you start seeing things, then you can share with people. But quite honestly, in the beginning stages, you want to keep that under wraps. Okay. You want to, if you want to express your thoughts and feelings about it, put it in a journal. Absolutely. Put it in a journal. That's one of the things that I'm going to do more of that I used to do all the time. I used to journal a lot of my thoughts. I think I got out of that because I had a very, you know, really harrowing experience. In sixth grade, I had a little diary, right? And I, for whatever reason, I had brought my diary to school and I had it in my desk, and some kids, somebody went into my desk and took my diary and started reading it, and they, like, you know, shared it with other kids in the classroom and some of the other, like, these fools. Yeah, sixth grade, middle school is harsh, right? They made copies. They made copies of some of my pages and, like, shared them with other people, like, to really, and it was very embarrassing and hurtful, right? It was extremely hurtful. And I stopped writing in a journal. I stopped writing in a diary after that, okay? Like, I allowed these kids to make me feel like I should be ashamed for having my own thoughts, instead of feeling like, no, they're the ones that should be ashamed. You know what I mean? Now, let me tell you, they did not break me, but they wounded me. I will say that. They wounded me from feeling like I could, write my thoughts down ever again. But as far as breaking me, no, they couldn't break my spirit, because I was like, I'm not getting ready to let these punks, have me walking around here like I'm ashamed to be who I am. Now, did I get some payback on them jokers? You absolutely right, because Shay is not. I ain't play that. I didn't play that then. I don't play it now. But that's a whole nother story. I digress. This was sixth grade. Okay. But I just think back to, I was like, gosh, wow. I remember being a young kid and I always wrote in my journal, and it's just, it's something how an experience like that can change the way you look at things, can change the way that you do things. So, I was really, I was really scarred from writing my thoughts down ever again. And I didn't do it as consistently as I did when I was a kid. When I was a young girl, I was writing in my journal, my little diary, every day. And I really want to get back to that point where I am writing in my journal consistently every day, writing my thoughts. Like, I think that's so important. And that's definitely one of the things that I'm implementing in 2025. And that's all a part of my vision. Okay. So, I'm really excited for what 2025 has to offer. I see myself differently, and I'm so glad for that. Like, I'm so proud of myself for the growth that I've made. I'm so proud of myself for the decisions that I've started to make. I'm proud of myself for standing up for myself, for saying no to anything and anybody that doesn't make me feel comfortable. I'm proud of myself for no longer feeling like I have to, make sure everyone else is good before I'm good. I'm proud for sticking up for myself and making sure that, no, Shay, you make sure you're good. You make sure you're good first, then you worry about everyone else next. Because if you're not good, how can you help take care of anyone else, right? Hey, Gabrielle. Oh my gosh, haven't seen you in forever. Hello. So, I'm glad for sticking up for myself first. I am glad that I've learned to say no. I'm glad that I have, made decisions to not put myself in situations or environments where I don't feel comfortable, where I don't feel like it's a real environment. I'm glad of no longer going where I'm tolerated, but where I'm celebrated. I'm glad and proud of myself for, being okay with not wanting to do the same thing with the same people all the time, right? I think sometimes we get so caught up in, well, these are my friends, these are my family members, this is what we've always done, this is what we do, and it's okay. We're not trees. We can move. We can say no. We can say this doesn't feel right. We can say I'm not comfortable. We can say no, and that be the end of it. There doesn't have to be an explanation, okay? There doesn't have to be a reason. There doesn't have to be an excuse. No is a complete sentence. That is one of the most powerful realizations that I ever came to, that no is a complete sentence. And it's so freeing. It's so very freeing. So I want to give you permission to say yes to yourself and no to anything that you don't want. Anything that doesn't feel good to you, anything that doesn't feel right to you, anything that doesn't feel true to you. I want you to say yes to yourself, yes to your dreams, yes to your goals, yes to your desires, yes to whatever it is that is best for you. I want you to say yes to that in 2025. I want you to write down what it is that you want, what you really, really, truly want. Write it down, know what it is, and don't stop until you get it. And don't let anyone tell you that that's not the right thing for you. Don't let anyone tell you that that's not what you should have, that that's not what you deserve, that, oh, I don't know, I see this for you. Fuck that. Okay? When people try to tell you, well, this is how I see you and blah, blah, blah. And sometimes they don't mean to, not everybody means to deter you from, a life of prosperity. Not everybody is trying to come at you. Not everybody is trying to hold you back. Some people are just, they're going to give you their opinion, their advice, what have you, just based upon their own experiences, based upon, their life, what they're dealing with, what they've dealt with. Some people really think that they're doing the best for you, but they're actually responding to you out of their own fears or out of their own failures, okay? That sort of thing. And they think that they're helping you. Like, oh yeah, I see that this is what you want, but let me tell you this, because they didn't do it right, because they didn't get what they wanted, okay? And you can't listen to that. You honestly can't listen to that, all right? If you want, listen, if you want to become a multimillionaire, why would you get advice from anyone other than a multimillionaire? Okay? If you want to become a world-renowned superstar athlete, why would you get advice from anyone else other than a world-renowned superstar athlete? If you want to become one of the best musicians in the world, why would you listen to anyone other than one of the best musicians in the world? It's like, why would you try to get marriage advice from a 3-time divorcee? Like, listen, I understand that they've been married 3 times, but damn it, they've been divorced 3 times also. They might not, have a grip on what it takes to keep a marriage intact, all right? So, don't get advice from someone who isn't living the life that you want to live. And, you can honestly let a person know family, friend, people who love you, because sometimes, like I said, they're trying to give you advice based upon their own experience or whatever. When they try to give you that, well, this is what I see for you, or, I don't think you should do this because, or, oh, be real careful. Just kindly let them know, hey, I cancel and delete that. This is what I have on my heart and mind. I know the plan that God has for me. Jeremiah 29:11. Come on, that's my favorite scripture. I know the plan that God has for me. So I appreciate you trying to, protect or give me advice or whatever it is that you're doing. But I cancel and delete that negativity. I cancel and delete that feeling of lack. I cancel and delete that that whatever it is that is not affirming and confirming and and positively uplifting. Like, I cancel that. I'm not interested in hearing that. Okay. And you can, say it however you want to say it very nicely, or say it very firmly. This day and age, I'm not so much concerned with how people take what I'm saying anymore. I used to feel like, well, Shay, you need to say it this way, so that they don't feel, that they're not misunderstood. But now I'm like, listen, when it comes to me, I'll be very mindful of how I talk to a person about them. But when it comes to me and how I am, my life, what I want for myself, I'm not holding back how I come across, because I'm serious about mine. And I no longer care how they feel or what they think about what I have to say when it comes to me, because this is my life and no one can live it but me, right? So 2025, my word is vision. Listen, it is now 1:03 a.m. on the East Coast. Happy New Year to everyone out there. I cannot wait to see all the amazing things that are in store for those of us who believe. All right. Blessings and abundance. I'll see you all later on. Look, I'll be going live a little later, so I'm so excited. And when I say a little later, I mean like later on today. Yeah, because I'm about to finish this champagne and call it a night. All right.